Welcome to DNDY Tanks. This is the second edition of the Tank Profiles, and I'm happy to announce that this episode we have TerribleNoob. You all know him as a moderator on the chat room in Discord, and also the clan creator for the Mighty Dandy Tanking Clan, the DNDY clan on the NA server, EU server, and Asia server. TerribleNoob comes to us all the way from Alaska. That's mighty far from Honolulu, Hawaii. So let's get to it. Let's start the interview with TerribleNoob. All right, so here we are with TerribleNoob. I first met TerribleNoob on the NA server. He was one of my first followers. I was kind of interested in his story because he's definitely a little bit older than the average person that's following our stream, which I think is closer to my age than than some of the other players. But we'll kind of go over that a little bit later. So Terrible, what servers do you play on?
I mostly play on the NA server and the EU server, but I also have an account on the Asia server, and I'm trying to kind of build that up a little bit too.
So, is it your plan? Was it your plan from the beginning to play on multiple servers, or is this something that kind of had grown about because of maybe like some of the people you platoon with, or what made you create accounts on different servers?
That's me. I have several accounts and several servers, and that's just my personality. I don't really go out to do things per se. It's just I end up doing it.
Okay, yeah, because some of the like one of the reasons why I created a EU account was when I first started the channel, especially because the time difference. I do it pretty late in Hawaii, so that means it's very very late for the rest of North America. So a lot of European people were stopping in and wanted to platoon, but they couldn't platoon with me because I wasn't on their server. So that's the reason why I created the EU account. If I had known, I would have created an Asia server account because actually Asia is kind of closer to Hawaii than Europe is. Europe is completely on the other side of the world from us. How long have you been playing tanks on Blitz?
On Blitz, I've been playing less than you. I'd say about 2 weeks less than you.
Right. Yeah, and you mentioned earlier that you started off with World of Tanks, the PC version. Can you tell us your experience there?
Yeah, I've played PC version for about a little over, or just under 6 years. I have accounts on both the NA server and also on the EU server.
Okay. And it seems like a lot of people who are playing Blitz came from the PC version. Because I originally downloaded the PC version first, and I had some issues with that playing that game, primarily not being able to get into battles. So, and then I found out through reading some of the online discussions and stuff that there's actually a Blitz game, which is kind of like a quicker, I don't know, arcade type version of World of Tanks. And downloading that, I didn't even know that it was designed for the mobile platform. I thought it was just another version of the PC game, like a light version. And I was able to get in battles pretty easily there because you only need 7, right? 7-on-7.
Yeah, they primarily made Blitz for, like you said, for the Androids and smartphones and iPads and all that. That was originally what it was for, but they also came up with an app for the PC so that people can also come and play on the PC.
Right. And so they do not have a Blitz version for console, is that right?
Not that I know of at this particular moment, no.
Okay. but World of Tanks is console and PC, but not mobile.
As far as I know, yes.
Okay.
And it's the same company, but as you know, that they also have World of Warships and stuff like that too. But the design team are different. So the design team for World of Tanks is different than the design team for World of Tanks Blitz, and so on and so forth. It's complete different people that are designing it and everything. Just control. But it's owned by the same company, Wargaming.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting, especially when they come out with these new tanks. Um, Sometimes, well, definitely World of Tanks has more countries and different types of tanks for the PC version, and then they kind of filter it down to Blitz, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in the future that they're going to bring more and more nations into it. Now, when it comes to the actual tanks, there's just certain tanks you will not be able to bring in. I mean, the way it is right now, set up to bring into Blitz that they have on, which is artillery, and that's the main one. But yeah.
So how did you find out about Blitz after playing World of Tanks for so long?
Well, Blitz came about. Like I said, I've been playing the PC version, and I keep up on. Well, I kept up with the news quite a bit at the time, and there was rumors that they were going to start a new one for the for cell phones and not cell phones, but you know what I mean. Yeah, cell phones. Other than the PC, and I sat there. Okay, that's pretty cool. They'll take a lot of people who don't have a PC, and the game enhances our player base for wargaming itself. And then when they sat there and said that you can well, actually, I didn't find out about it being on PC until after I actually started a. See,
You're getting it through.
I get through Steam, and I went to Steam to get another game, and I noticed that the Blitz was on Steam, so I went and I downloaded it, and I've been playing it ever since. And that's how I found out about Steam when it comes to being able to play it. I knew Steam was, not Steam, but Blitz. But I knew Blitz was around for a few months before I found it on Steam. So.
Blitz actually has a requirement that for Windows that you need Windows 10 in order for it to run. And if you don't, then you can't install the game. But Steam allows you to actually play the game on a computer that doesn't necessarily meet the requirements.
That's correct. I got Windows 8, and I know I had a chance to put it to Windows 10, but I just didn't do it. I didn't really want to change. I got so used to being on Windows 8, and they kept on changing it. It seemed like every year it was changed, and you have to get used to it because it's different. And so I just was stubborn and didn't get Windows 10. But Steam, you could play it on it. I believe you can go Windows 7, Windows 8, all on Steam. You're able to play it.
Right. So for World of Tanks Blitz, what brought you to the game? What makes it attractive to you? What's your goal or purpose for playing World of Tanks Blitz?
I'm just here for fun. That's all it's about. I'm competitive in a way, but I'm more like I like the camaraderie that you get with it. Be able to talk to people and learn about other areas of the world and how people react and all that. I'm just a casual player when it comes. As you can see, you have like 40 games a day, and I have 5 games a day. It says it's just like
average.
When I
That's
get
average.
yeah, I'm just an average. That's average, but I play a lot. because I have nothing else to do. I have a lot of time on my hands, and so I'm not working, and so I'm sitting here in the middle of nowhere trying to find ways of keeping my mind going. And the game definitely does that, and it keeps my heart pumping because as you see, I'm a flamer. I really am. I get mad more at myself than anything else. But you know what? It's a game, and everybody's got the right to do the way they want to do, and all that. And try to be nice to people and all that, but sometimes you just have to go yourself.
Right. When you said that you're not competitive, I kind of find that hard to believe because you honestly, like, out of everybody that I've met plays this game and who continues to play this game for a while, it does bring out something competitive in you, right? I mean, because it is a team-based game, there is definitely a clear winner and a loser, unless you get the draw. But it does bring out that competitiveness in all of us who play this game, right?
Oh yeah, well, that's not what I meant. If you look at the types of games that I play in the past, World of Tanks is either version of it is not my cup of tea when it comes to it's a ultimate PvP, player versus player, and I don't really go for player versus player games. I like to play like in sports and everything. I play sports games and racing games and stuff like that, and I go against the computer. I don't go against other players. And so for me to be sitting here playing a player versus player type game, that's just not my type of thing.
Right.
But yeah, I get competitive when it comes to I want to win. I really want to win. I really do. But I want my team to win too. And it really frustrates me when they don't work together. And oh, come on, guys. Come on. We can do it this way. We can win. But they just don't do it that way.
Right. I'm kind of like you too. When I started this game, whenever I play these types of games, I try to skip the whole player versus player aspect of it. If there's like a story mode or you just play the computer mode, I kind of tend towards just playing that. This is actually one of the first games I've actually taken up the kind of social aspect of it and playing against different players. But it is a different type of gameplay, right? When you're playing against players, because the computer will play a certain way for whatever level you're at. But when you're playing with people, you could be at a very high level and people will play very dumb, or you might play at a lower level and you might have the seal clubbers or people who are really good. So you just never know like who you're playing against.
Yeah, that's particularly reason why I stay away from player versus player, because I'm not good at it, and I'll be the first one to tell you I'm not good at it. The reason is that I'm my eyesight's not the best anymore. My hearing is about shot, and to sit here, my hand-eye coordination is not the best. So I try my best, and I mess up a lot. And plus, also my computer's not the best in the world. So I try to be competitive as much as I can, but I know that I'm limited to what I can do. So
Right. That's one thing that I definitely learned to accept early on playing this game is we are not all equal.
Yeah, we're not all circumflex and cookie baby people like that.
I mean, just some people have a real knack for this game. You don't know what kind of computer they're playing on or what kind of device they're playing on. I have it on my iPad and I have it on my iPhone. When I'm playing there, I am just horrible. The controls just don't. It's not intuitive for me. So I play it primarily on my computer.
That's all I play it on. I do not own a phone, so I don't play it there. I play it on I have a laptop. It's what I call a Walmart special, and it does what it needs to do to keep me into the game, but still I lag a lot, and it depends on what time of day it is too. But and I live way out in the middle of nowhere. Our internet's not the best in the world, and so I have a lot going against me when it comes to trying to be competitive. But I just enjoy the game. I'm a history buff, so the history behind the vehicles that we're actually playing is really cool to me. I enjoy it and all that. I like learning about them, and I like learning about the commanders that actually like these. You see the medals that you get when it comes to nipsels and all these different medals. I couldn't even pronounce them even if I wanted to. The Russian ones. Just sit there and look it up and read about the person and go back and go on YouTube and put their name in and find out about the person. It's really cool to sit there and find that stuff out. I love doing that.
Yeah, I actually find myself watching documentaries and stuff on YouTube on tanks, primarily just because of this game.
It's just I'm a general. My favorite, my actual favorite history thing that I like is the Civil War. It's my favorite.
Okay.
And I lived in Virginia for many years, so I was in the middle of it. But they didn't have anything that happened up here in Alaska from the Civil War. So, but we did get attacked by the Japanese during World War II. So,
right,
that's pretty cool.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, now that you mention it, so I'm in Hawaii, and you're in Alaska. So we're kind of like in the more remote areas of the U.S., right? And there's a certain amount of isolation. Even though like Hawaii, we're pretty technology-wise, up to date, we're still pretty isolated from everybody else just because we're just these little islands in the middle of the Pacific. So you mentioned where you're at, the internet connection is not that good. Who's your provider up there?
It's MTA, Matanuska. It's Matanuska Telecom. I can't say the word telecommunication,
Right.
Whatever it is. But it's Matanuska. It's because we live out in the valley.
Is that like a cable type service, or is that part of like a phone?
It's everything. They have cable, they have phone, they have you name it, they got it.
Okay.
But we only get the internet. We don't watch TV that much when it comes to cable. The only thing we get is what we get from the airwaves,
Right.
digital. That the free that comes out.
Right.
And some days we have 7 channels. The other day we got 3 channels. So it depends on what's going on. But it's good enough for us. We stream everything because our internet is unlimited. We got unlimited data on our internet, so we can stream everything. And,
that's kind of interesting. Yeah. So you're considered a cord cutter then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Someone who doesn't subscribe to like a cable package or anything, and they just basically get everything over the internet.
Well, we did it first. We had the package, which was the cable and the phone and the internet. That cost us like almost $200 a month for all that. When we got the unlimited internet, that's $99 a month. We didn't need a phone. We get a cell phone, and we didn't need a home phone, and we don't need the cable because we get enough channels to keep us. We got NBC and CBS and
the big networks.
Channels.
Okay, so we got the internet covered. Let's talk about the game. How much money? Because the game is free, right, to download and play, but there's in-app purchases that I've kind of discovered. A lot of people that we're playing with, they actually spend money on this game. How much money have you actually put into World of Tanks Blitz?
Exactly $0.
So basically, you're just grinding out everything, all your upgrades, all your XP, your acquisition of tanks. That's all through grinding and basically just using the credits that you accumulate in the game.
Pretty much, but now that they brought those chests into the game,
right,
where you have a chance of getting gold and all that. I take the gold that I win and I put it towards the EXP, and it's the free XP, and so I am able to grind a little bit faster when it comes to that. But yes, I am a grinder. 100%. What I got, I grinded to.
Yeah, because when I look at your, especially like on the NA server, when I look at your account, and I think you only have like 600 something games. right?
I'm 900 games on around 900 games
Yeah,
on the NA server.
it's not that much. Yeah, 936 games as of today. But yet, I mean, I've seen you go through the tanks, like up the tank level, like a tier, tier 4, tier 5, tier 6, and I'm like, how are you getting up there so quickly just grinding? And I didn't realize that the free XP was a way to do that.
Yeah, the gold you can do your free use your gold to get the free XP.
Yeah, because it
And
took
so
me a
you
long
get.
time to get through that KV1. I mean, there was a lot of upgrades in that tank, and you kind of
I
went through
never
that
used
pretty
gold
quick.
to get through.
Oh, really?
I didn't use gold to get through the KV1. What I used the experience boosters and the everything that we got out of those chests. And I just sit there and I play one tank when I get into the mood
Hmm.
that I want to. I set a goal. Like right now, my goal on my ARL 44 is to get my engine. That's my next goal, and that's 18.8
Thousand
thousand experience to
XP,
get
yeah.
to it. Yeah.
And
So I sit there and I get up, I'll usually platoon up with D's Nuts or whoever's on, and we go out and we do nothing but tier 6 on my ARL, and sit there and I have the boosters on and all that going, and that's how I do it.
right. Okay, so now you bring up a great point, and it's the platooning, right? One thing I didn't realize the importance of in this game was the platooning until I started platooning. And then I quickly understood platooning makes a huge difference, especially if you're just starting out in this game. But if you do want to progress quicker in the game, this wargaming encourages you to platoon, right, with somebody.
Yeah, you get like 50% more experience and 50% more credits, I believe,
Hmm.
when you platoon with somebody. And then you also, when you're in a clan, you get extras while being in a clan. For platooning with a clanmate, you get more experience and more credits. So, it's important to get into a clan and whenever you're playing to play together. And that's their way of sitting there saying, "Come on, this is a team-based game. Let's go and do it."
Right, and I kind of found out with this game, I can kind of see there's a certain value to it for playing the game, and also personally too. I've kind of found that there's a lot of value to meeting new people from different places, different personalities, and no matter what your background, if you have a common interest, in our case, it's tanking. We at least have something in common, and we can work together to help each other improve. And definitely, I would be so bad at playing this game because if you watch my earlier videos, I am just horrible. If I weren't platooning with people, I would not have learned how to play this game, and I probably would still be playing it terribly.
Yeah, you learn when you're with other people. You learn tactics, where to go on certain maps. Once you learn the maps, it gets easier. And working together with other people is definitely a key. I've noticed that in the games where people stuck together, all together, you got about 85% chance of winning that particular matchup as long as everybody stays together.
Right.
The people that split up they go in two different directions, usually lose. So you learn certain things and you learn how to use the like side scraping and use the terrain to your advantage, and where you can see people like a light tank has a further sight line of sight than like a heavy tank, and you can sit off way in the back and pot shot at them and never get seen.
Right, right, right.
And the guy's sitting there cussing because where in the hell is this person that's in me?
Yeah, so let's talk about the clan. So one thing that I'm kind of really grateful for is you came up with the idea. I had never even thought about creating my own clan. I was actually just starting to. I had joined a clan already on both the NA and the EU account because I know that there's some benefits of being in a clan. But I had never ever thought about actually creating a clan for myself. But you came up with that idea to create the Mighty Dandy tanking clan. So can you kind of explain what is the benefit of not only being in a clan, but of, just having clans in a game? Like, what value does it bring to the game?
Well, everybody gets together. It's a bunch of people, like you said, that have the same interests and usually the same play styles or abilities, getting together and going out and having fun. And it's like going to the Boy Scouts or the Girl Scouts, or, it's just something for you to be able to go and spend time with people, have fun, and learn more about the game through camaraderie and all that. And plus, it's got its pluses when it comes to you get more experience, you get more credits, and the higher your supply level is, the more percentages you have off on buying new tanks and buying supplies and all that. So there is an advantage, and I built this. I am the lead to the DNDY clan, both on a NA server and a EU server, and I basically made it for the people that follow you, and that's the main reason why I did it, is to bolster your channel for one, and two, look at all the regulars that come in and play. It's just great.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised, and especially on the NA server, how quickly you filled that roster up. I mean, each clan can only have 50 people, and I was thinking, like the regulars, maybe there's like a dozen or so, just people who pop in and out every now and then. But that clan, but you filled it up like really quickly. I mean, it was almost within a couple of days. That was
overnight
amazing.
We were full. But it's just people that want. Our clan is for people to come in, have fun. It doesn't matter what if you only had one battle or if you had 10,000 battles. It is a place for you to come and learn how to play if you need to, or sit there and teach somebody if you're able to. And just to have fun. We're not competitive when it comes to going into tournaments and stuff. Even though I don't stop people from entering tournaments and doing it, if that's what you want to do, go for it. I'm not one to do that, but you have all the right in the world to do it. And the people that I have as deputy leads are the people that I trust around. And not saying that I don't trust the people that are not leads. It's just that these are the people that are regulars. They're on all the time, and they are on the stream all the time. So that's what I did, is I put them as deputy leads, and they have the ability to drop people and to add people. I would rather them. There's only 3 people that I actually want to actually be the one to drop people, and that'd be you, me, and these. Other than that, I'd rather them tell me or come and talk to me before they drop somebody. But and they can drop them if they're not being nice, if they're not being if they're just being complete hose heads out there. And
you can say it. You can say it. we all say it.
I said enough of it during the last. I said enough of that during the last stream. I did my limit for the year on last stream.
Right. But we know for a fact that there are competitive clans, and clans that will not even consider your application if you don't have a certain record or whatever.
Yeah, that's true, and we don't go by that. You don't have to have like a lot of clients say you have to have a 50% win rate or stuff like that. That's not what we're going for. We're going for people to come in, have fun, try to fit in with us, and if you don't like it, then they leave, and that's fine. I don't have no problem with that. Just all I ask for people that are in the clan is to be respectful towards each other, respectful towards people that are not in the clan and have fun. I do flame from time to time, and I do sit there and call people idiots, which I shouldn't do, but I do. I'll admit it, I do. And but
It's more of a
I,
reaction than
yeah, I
you
try not to
trying to
be
insult.
disrespectful
Yeah.
towards people because there's enough disrespect out there in the world, and we don't need it in a game. So
Right.
that's basically the way I go for it.
All right, so let's switch gears here. What about, let's talk about tanks. What's your favorite type of tank when it comes to like light, medium, heavy, or destroyer? What fits your playing style the best?
I'm more medium heavy style. Even
Okay,
though I could play artillery and lights, I'm more medium and heavy.
right, okay. And what country do you prefer?
I prefer the USA myself. No,
Yeah.
that's because I'm an American. I have to say that. No, when it comes to the tanks in the game, I enjoy the Russian tanks more than any of the other tanks that I've played so far. But I do like going against that. I do like the M5 Stuart, which is an American tank. The Germans are fun to play from time to time, but I'm more playing Russian. Yeah.
And you seem to be, I think you're one of the few people I know that are going through the British tanks, right?
Yeah. Let me see. Is that on the American? Yeah, that's on any server. I am going through the. I got up to. I was almost to the AT2, but I stopped doing that, and I went to. I got rid of it, and I got my KV1 all fully upgraded, and then I got my French heavies. I do play French heavies too, but I'm
Yeah,
all
so
the
really it's
British.
not more, it's not about the country, it's more about the tank that you want to get, right?
Yes, that's the reason I was going up the British line is I want to get to the tier six, which is the shoot. My mind just went blank. Not the Crusader, but the one after it. But anyway, it's the medium right there at tier six. I wanted to get it, and even though on Blitz it's not as good as it is on the PC version,
You're talking about like the
and eventually,
Cromwell or the
yeah, the Cromwell.
yeah.
And then at the very end of that particular, I like the 7-1 tier 9, and I like the tier 10 also in that line, and tier 8. So eventually I want to get down to there. Those are all mediums going up that
Right.
line.
And that's how wargaming kind of gets you, right? It's when you get up to the higher tiers and you want a specific tank, well, you're gonna have to start all the way at the beginning and grind your way through the different
Yeah, that's
tiers
true.
to get that tank. And I don't know, I guess I would think that a lot of people would pay, they would put cash into the game to kind of speed up that process.
A lot of people do. And a lot of people buy premium tanks, and the one good thing about premium tanks is they a lot of them make a lot more money, a lot more credits, and you get more experience for it, and your crew goes up faster, and all that. But see, that's more important in the PC version of it than it is in the Blitz version of it, because in the Blitz, your crew stays with that tank. It doesn't go anywhere other than that tank. In the PC version, you can switch one crew to another tank, and
Oh, nice.
and yeah, you could just bring. That's why
So that crew
on my
XP can jump from tank to tank.
yeah, it goes well. You have to do certain things and use gold to a lot of the times. Well, you don't have to use gold, but that's the quickest way to do is use gold to train them for another tank. And but like an example, right? I have the IS-6 in the PC version, which is Tier 8 Premium. I have my KV-1 crew in the IS-6 because you could put a a Russian crew into a Russian premium as long as it's the same type of tank, and there won't be any penalty in the premium tank. In other words, if I try to put the IS-6 crew into the KV-1, there's a penalty because they're not trained for that particular tank.
Got it.
But the other way around, put the KV-1 crew into the IS-6, there's no penalty.
Right.
And you can build your crew up, and that particular crew's got 3 perks, and going through the 4th perk on that particular crew. And once I buy my KV-1 back and put that crew in there, it's going to be a beast.
Right. Never thought about that. I really actually have no clue about the crew. I just view the crew as like an obstacle that I just need to get through to get the crew up to 100%. I didn't even think about it as actually a crew for the tank and having different crews for different tanks. I thought that was just a characteristic of the tank.
Nope. See, on World of Tanks, on the PC version, the entire crew goes up.
Right.
In other words, your tier 1s, except for your mediums, which is the British one, is a medium at tier 1. It's got 5 crew members in it. All the rest of them got 2 or 3, and you can. And in World of Tanks PC, when you first start out, they give you 100% crews. So your commander, you have a commander, you have a commander, you have
driver,
a driver,
a gunner,
got a gunner, and you have a radio operator, and you have your reloaders, your loaders, and so they go up separately. And all that. When in Blitz, all you have to worry about is, per se, crew. Not how many, it's just you have a crew. And that's it.
Well, thank goodness for that, because that would just make the game a lot more complicated for me. Hey, so which tank would be your favorite tank that you own?
What I have right now?
Out of all the tanks that you own right now, across all your accounts, which is your favorite tank to play?
KV-1.
Oh, that's kind of interesting. That's a heavy tank. You got it's got the big gun, and at that tier level, it's definitely like one of the more powerful tanks at that tier level. And
also at tier 6, it does pretty good damage to tier 6s too. So it's the best overall tank that I like. I do well in, and which is funny because the KV-1 on the PC version is my favorite tank. I have more battles in that particular tank, over 1,000, than any other tank I have. I think the next one down from the KV-1 is the AT-2, and it's only like 500 battles. So
okay. Oh, so you're a KV-1 guy.
Yeah, I like the KV-1.
Yeah.
It's a beast at tier 5.
Yeah, mine would be kind of like the Leopard. I just started. Yeah, I just started the VK 2801, and I'm starting to play more games in that. But yeah, by far, I think I've played a lot more games in that Leopard than any other tank. So of course, I would be like I would consider myself like a light tank guy.
I think you're also a good medium player too, if you ever get into mediums.
Yeah.
Your style is more towards the light and mediums.
Yeah. So okay, so that's your favorite tank that you own. What tank that you don't own do you really want to get? And it doesn't matter if it's a standard or premium or whatever. Like, which tank do you have your eye on, and if they had a giveaway, that's the tank you want?
T-57 Heavy.
Nice.
Tier 10 American Heavy. It's an autoloader, and it's got a real good clip on it. Reload time is pretty quick for autoloader, and does real good damage. And it could be really the armor could be really funny at times, if you know what I mean. It's not the most heavily armored of the heavy tanks, but yeah, I want to get it.
All right. What are your thoughts? And this is kind of a controversial topic, which is why I like asking people this question. What are your thoughts on wargaming including fantasy type tanks, like the Dracula, the Helsing, and even like these anime tanks in the game with the World War II tanks?
Well, since wargaming is not really following, if you follow history, World War II, Germany had the most strongest and best tanks in the war by far. The Tigers you couldn't touch. They were just so powerful next to all the rest of the nations. The only thing that really killed Germany at the end was attrition. They just ran out of stuff. Then the Russians were able to build 500 times more than what the Germans could do, and the Americans did the same thing. So if you went by history, German was the best tanks in the game. But when it comes to these fantasy tanks that they come up with, that's fine for the game. I don't think it's right to sit there and say, okay, if you pay $25, you can have a tank that's going to be able to touch, that could destroy everything and not get touched. I don't think that's fair. But when it comes to bringing stuff in, I think it's pretty cool to sit there and say, hey, here's something, this is new, and we're taking it from other magazines and stuff like that. Whatever they want to do, it's a game.
Right.
It's their game, and they don't stress that they stay within within history. They do to a point, but still, it's a game, guys.
Right.
Do what they got to do. It's a game.
There's a lot of detractors out there who really oppose those type of tanks, even to the point of like a lot of premium tanks are like prototypes that were never put into production, but somehow I guess there were plans or specs on these tanks, or maybe they took a gun that was on another tank, stuck it on another tank, and now it's a premium tank.
Like the Waffenträger. Yeah.
Yeah, so I know there's a lot of discussion about that, and there's some people who are opposed to that type of tanks. They feel like it's a money grab. Of course, in this kind of a game, if wargaming creates an overpowered tank, a lot of people are going to buy it, right? And if the only way you can get it is to pay cash, a lot of people are going to pay the cash to get it.
Exactly. That's human nature.
Right.
They try to get the best advantage they can in whatever they do, which is fine. That's human nature.
And you can't blame wargaming for that's a business model,
it's a
right?
Business.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's a business. You can't. I don't like what they're doing with World of Tanks. I don't like that they're not fixing certain things, and I'm a little pissed off at that. But still, you got to remember, guys, they're not in this to make you happy. They're in there to make money.
Make money, right?
And then secondary is to make you happy.
Right.
But the primary is to make money. It's a business. That's the way they do it.
Yeah. I mean, they can't make you happy if they're bleeding money. They're bleeding cash every month, right? They need to make cash in order to make us happy. So they got to.
It's a business. That's the way it goes, and that's how they do it.
Now I know you touched upon this, but I was wondering if you could kind of go more in depth about how important is the online community for Blitz?
For the game to continue and not fail. Eventually down the road, you're going to have a community that will back the game in certain ways. And forums is one way, and I am not a forum person. You'll never see me in the forums. I don't go there. It's just not my thing. I'm more into the going and talking to people type person when it comes to like in what we're doing right now. Yeah, the community is very important to keep the game going. I mean, if there wasn't a community, I think the game would fall apart. It's just, it's like any game you have out there, World of Warships, World of Warfare, any of the games that are out there, if they don't have a community to follow it, then they'll fall apart and they just won't exist anymore. I've seen too many particular games that failed because they didn't have the following behind it, and it's part of like in the sense of wargaming, it's part of their fault for not doing things that should be done, but that's up to them, and they do have a very good following. I think they have over 85 million accounts. It could be more than that by now. They've lost a lot of their fan base because of some of the things that they did, but I don't think they're going to fall apart like a lot of people are saying. It's going to stay around.
Right. And you're kind of invested in the game, not only time, money, but when you're in the community, when you're part of a community, now your friends are there, the people you play with are there. You put more stuff into the game, and it makes it harder to leave, right?
Yeah, it's not only money. Money's part of it. If you put money into it, obviously you have a stake in it, and you want to see it succeed and all that, because then it's a waste of money, and you don't. Nobody wants to do that. They don't want to waste it. They want to get their best value out of the game and all that. But the other aspect of it is you have friends. You invest a lot of your, how should I say, you get a lot of friendships going, and all that, and it's hard to let that go too.
Right.
It's harder to sit there. It's easier to leave something if you don't have anything there to have to worry about. But I mean, if you have no friends and the game's not fun, and you wasted money and all that, it's easier to walk away in that situation than it is when you have a lot of friends that you like to see, and you want to continue the friendship in that way. And when it comes to gamemanship and all that, and also if you put money into it, you just don't want to. It's not as easy to just go screw this and go somewhere else.
Right, right. Yeah, I definitely feel like 50% of it for me to play this every day is playing the game, but the other 50% is just to come online and talk to you guys, and we're meeting up every day. You're there every day. A lot of the regulars are there every day, and when we jump on Discord, we get to talk. It's like we're just meeting up, and we're meeting up under a common interest. Even if I didn't come to play, or let's say my computer crashed or whatever, I would still show up on Discord. I would still show up because of the relationships that we've created playing this video game, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, that's all. So that you got to remember, it's a game, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a game. It's just something that you go in. It's like playing checkers or playing chess. You can be a competitive, but it's still a game.
Yeah. Thinking about it, I used to play chess a lot, and so we would go down to the local shopping mall, and there would be a group that would go down there every Tuesday or Thursday, I can't remember. But yeah, people would just show up, and even if they weren't there to play, they would just show up just because they knew those people. Because they played with them every week. It was kind of like cool just to go and hang out with these people that are now like friends. And I don't know, like online wise, we don't really know each other personally, so I wouldn't consider us like close friends. But I would like the way I look at it is like this is my gaming friends, and we're respectful of each other. We share common interests. We get along, and I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like I've never felt like long distance friendships or like virtual friendships. I thought that was kind of a weird thing, but actually it's not. It's not really much different than having friends in person that you would meet up with every week or so.
Well, I'm out in the middle of nowhere, and this is all I have. Where I'm at, yeah, I have neighbors and stuff like that, but I don't really have friends out here per se, because I am out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, my friends are my dogs and the animals that are around us and stuff like that, and my family. And I'm fine with that. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. It's just that, you know, I don't. My way of getting out to the world is through gaming. I like I said before, you know, I like getting to know people from different areas of the world and see the world through their eyes other than my eyes. You know, I'm a recluse. I'm way out here and all that. But and I know what I feel like when it comes to politics and religion and all that. And I keep that to myself because if there's anything that I ever learned in my life is stay away from politics and stay away uh, from religion when it comes to
Right,
talking
right.
because you want to see a fight come out very fast, start talking about stuff like that.
Right. It's kind of interesting. Because I follow Waller Dog on YouTube,
Oh, he's
and
cool. I like water.
yeah, and I asked him I asked him like just kind of a like off the cuff funny question. It's like, hey, because he was doing a 12-hour live stream for the fundraiser thing with Skater Extreme, and I was like, what does your family and friends think about you doing like a 12-hour stream on YouTube? Because he's kind of an older person too. He's not he's not like a young kid or anything.
Well, he's ex-marine. He was in the Marines for
Yeah,
a while. You know, yeah.
but he kind of gave the same answer that you gave. He says he's out in Germany for work. He doesn't have any friends out there. It's just him and his wife. So streaming online for him every day and communicating with his followers, that was his social interaction. That was his way of being social. And actually he even said that he's not really a social and outgoing, social kind of guy where he's going to go out and have a social life. So he likes staying at home, he likes drinking his beer, uh, and he likes,
More power to him, man.
yeah. So I mean, I guess
He's
that.
got a perfect place for it. Being in Germany, you can get him a good supply of beer there.
Before we close out this thing, who do you follow online? I know you do follow a lot of people, a lot of World of Tanks people and Blitz people. So who would you recommend for other people, new people?
Wow, I'm eclectic, dude. It's just like my music. It's just I'm very eclectic. I have a range of people. I'll do my shout outs. My shout out is Waller Dog and Circumflexes on PC, Mighty Jingles on PC, you, and all those other people that I sat there and I went and I go to these people that live stream, and I don't care who they are. If they're live stream, I go to their stream. I'll sit there and I'll subscribe to them, and I'll like them just out of the blue. But I also follow a guy named
Oh, is this the guy
um,
who dies? Who doesn't know? You told me about him. Who plays World of Tanks? What was that
I'm
guy's name?
sorry.
What was his name? He was just sitting out there getting shot at, and he wasn't very good at playing the game.
Oh yeah, that was one. I don't remember his name, but I went ahead and I subscribed to him and I liked him. You know, but he
Right.
didn't have a clue how to play. But I enjoyed watching it because oh my god, I used to be like that. But anyway,
Right.
I don't think I was ever that bad, but
Yeah.
that's all right. Everybody deserves to get recognized in certain ways. But no, Bobo Grimmer is another one I follow. He's on PC. He plays primarily artillery. I'm in his clan actually on the PC version because I play artillery also. But those are my shout outs for right now. I'm sure there's a lot of more out there that I haven't mentioned, and they probably won't even know that I didn't mention them. But hey, I follow you guys too.
Right. All right. Hey, thanks for spending the time to talk to me and sharing your insights and information with the viewers. I've got one last question. If you and I were to go head to head with a tier 1 tank, who do you think would win?
Me.
All right. Let's load the game up and let's get into battle.
I don't really.
But once we meet up, then they can manipulate the camera and they can change their camera.
We can see the enemy team too.
Oh, okay, all right. So no hints now, no hints.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh wow, I've never played this. You know what? Go this one. All right. I suspect if I know TerribleNoob's playing style, I believe this is probably the best route to take.
No, dude.
No hints now. It has no hints.
No.
Okay. All right. All right.
You guys will have a draw.
Well, that's okay. So there's 3 outcomes, right? The first outcome is one of us dies. The second outcome is capture the base. The third outcome is a draw. And again, because we're playing tier 1, I think these higher tier maps are a little bit larger than the regular tier 1 maps. So there is a chance for a draw here. It's just a matter of how badly each player wants to kill each other.
Mm-hmm. You guys will have a draw. No doubt.
Well, I know one way to not have a draw.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I thought you guys were gonna meet. Then, yep, yeah, your draw. Never mind. Yep,
I'm pretty sure this is not going to be a draw. Somebody's going to die.
I know. I can't do
Oh, dang it.
this one.
Dang it.
They killed our driver. We're covering this position. But
Oh, shoot. Go.
our ammunition rack is hit. Nice shot. Enemy is hit. Truck hit.
We're gonna lose.
We got him. They're hit. Penetration.
We're gonna lose.
Oh, my gosh. Well, there you go.
Nice job, Greg.
That was fun.